Hello everybody, littleGrayBat here. Today we're going to be making Professor Genki from Saints Row 3. This is the first time I ever made any glove. It's not that hard to actually make them. You have to have at least a one-way stretch. This is not a four-way stretch fabric, this is a one-way stretch.
Okay, we are making the glove today. I'm showing what it looks like. We're making this. It is actually not that hard if you have decent knowledge of stitching. Alright, what you're gonna do here is I have a binder and I'm measuring out my fingers. You want to have enough room for around your knuckles because you're gonna be pulling the fabric down to be stitching it to the main back. Right there. Cut it right here. Alright, you've cut it in half. Make sure that this is stretchable fabric. Only go in this direction, and I am going to go against the fur. What you want to do is you want to wrap your finger like this, and you want to put the stitching, giving seam allowance. This is where finger will be, and you pin it. You want this to not be stitched. You want to have an opening like that, because when you put your finger in, it'll stretch like that. Be like a little mini cape. Ta-da! And you want it to bend like that. Now you want to test it and make sure it's tight enough or loose enough for your hand. You kind of made it a little too loose. So if you make it too loose, what you do is keep the pins that are in there going a little bit, because then you know exactly how tight to make it. When you have your finger done, you're going to cut away the excess fabric, leave enough seam allowance, then you stitch it together, and then you repeat the exact same thing for each finger. When doing the actual thumb of the glove piece, you need to put it on your opposite hand. When you're putting it inside out, it'll fit right hand. You want to build it off your left hand and make sure there's more around the palm of your hand and the back of your hand, because you need to have enough stitching room and movement. You want it here and here. When you are done stitching the fingers, you must put the fingers on inside out on the opposite hand. For instance, when you are making your right hand glove, you are better off putting it on your left hand and stitching the fingers on them. Then you will have a right glove. So, you want to pin this onto your hand first to make it easier. If you're a lefty or a righty, I would suggest, if this is the first time you've ever done this, build the glove with your dominant hand. it'll be more easier to figure out how to pin everything together. And mark all your fingers if you're going to do them all at once, because you don't want to lose track of each finger. Like I marked this number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, and I wrote an R on them. That's what you saw in the writing. But you want to pin this on you so you know exactly where the fingers and the pieces meet. Now be careful taking off the fingers if you pin them right. Apparently I didn't pin that one right, but I can see where I pinned this. We're gonna pin it back again. Alright, so what you're gonna do, since you've pinned them on correctly, well, if you pin them on correctly, undo it, pull the seam on this side. Now you pin it better. You stretch out thumb. This is the best way I've seen to have to pin it without stabbing myself, because you're gonna want to put it back on. When it comes to the extended pieces and you think it looks right, you can go as far into the seam as you like. It's best to give it as much room as possible. Here's watch. I'm gonna put back on. Index finger. Thumb. This is the best way to make sure it's nice and tight on you. So you'll have a lot of trial and error when you're doing this kind of stuff. Okay, now we're working on the middle seams. This is right here. We're going to stitch it to part of it to the main glove, and you're actually going to stitch the longer pieces, only the front parts, closer to the palm, together. That's this piece right here. This is what the glove should look like after you've done stitching it. It'll look like that. You're going to cut away what's excess. Now it's like that. Now we're going to make the piece that goes in the back of the hand and to the wrist. That's what we're making now. Okay, how we did the bottom, this part is the exact same way as how we do the top. I will show you how to pin the sleeves together, but we're pinning the very top now. You want to pin this on you, then you cut the excess fabric off. This is how the glove looks inside out. And now we're going to flip it the right way. And that's it.
So, I really hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe and ring that notification bell. Bye!
If you have any questions or anything on this tutorial, please leave a comment below. I will get back to you as soon as I come out of my bat cave.